Working on the 0 to 300 volt power supply case. Well, good afternoon, YouTube. It is a Sunday at 12:18. I am working on this. I have the bench halfway clean. Basically, I found that big box in the living room and put all the stuff that was on here on into the box to be sorted later. And I've also been busy making some new noodle boxes up for new projects. And I'm going to start going through the other ones, the old projects, and consolidating those into hopefully some better arrangement to cut down on the clutter a bit. What you see in front of you is the for you guys that don't think there's enough room in here. This is how it's going to have to be laid out in order for the meter to fit in there. You can see the meter does fit. You know, it will go all the way back through there. I mean, it only needs to go right there, but it's upside down, but that doesn't matter. So that's going to have to be where the transformer goes. I've tried every other configuration, and actually that's not a bad spot for it anyway. I don't know how well you can see it. I'm going to get some light. I can find my auxiliary light. There you can see down there, I think. Basically, that fits between those two screws. And that, like I said, those are going to have to be moved, but at least I'll have plenty of room on the corners now to put those screws back and new feet in. And that will work out rather well. So once I cut the hole for that, then like I said, I can put that pretty much right there. Now it can go over this way a little bit. It doesn't have to be right there. In fact, it's just kind of resting on that thing there. I want to get it over as best I can to get it, like I said, I think it actually shows up better that way. Anyway, so that's that, and I think that'll work. I think it'll work well. I think part of my problem is I don't have my other auxiliary light. Oh, there that went. I just don't have enough room here. You know, I keep thinking about moving into the other room. There you go. There's some better lighting. Anyway, that's there you go. You can see that very well now. But in order, if I come over, it rests on those nuts there, so I don't really need to do that. I think I can get away with that positioning. I'm gonna double check and see if yeah. See, that's tight, but it will fit because it doesn't need. Also, being as I don't do that, I can actually move that back like that and do that, which would give me even a little bit more room, I think, with the meter. Let me double check again. I keep moving that around. It likes to move. But that's where I would have it. Let me get up here so you can see it a little bit better. So you can see there, I think, and you'll see it's going to hit right there. So I really need it back this way, and I think once I take that, let me take the screws out and I'll come back. Alright, back with you again. Now I have all the screws out of the bottom, and you can see that's exactly where I would like to put it. You can see it's back as far as I can get it here this way, and back that way as far as I can get it. I think that would be a pretty good place for it, and you'll also be able to see that this fits behind now. There's plenty of room to go right through there. So there's all kinds of space there that will work, and that will, like I said, let's see what it looks like on this side. It's kind of close to the fins, but the way I think I'll show you that in just a second. But you know, this is where I want the holes at. Right here. to draw in air to cool the transformer. The transformer is not, you know, somebody was worried about the transformer. Transformer is not really going to get real hot. 100 milliamps draw off this is not really that much. Actually, the filament, if I use it for filament voltages, probably will draw more heat than the B plus part would. So, you know, it's not going to get hot, I don't think. So, that's what my feelings is, and that's just the way I'm going to go with it, because I think that's going to work out. And I still have plenty of room down here in this corner. You can see there's all kinds of room for that nut to fit in there for the feet on both sides, because this one's not even close over here. So, yeah. And that will cover the original hole up, but that's okay, because that's just the way I want it. Again, I can move it over the other way a little bit if I need to. Let me get back again and I'll show you just how much we can move it. I'll put this in here like this, just sitting in there, and you can see there, whoops. Now that, you know, there's our backside. That's what you kind of have to go back. That's probably, well, actually I could go that, you know, that far is probably as far as I can go right there. So I can leave some space in there if I need to. I can even come this way a little bit with it if I need to. But like I said, I don't think I'm going to. I think it would be fine just that way. I don't want to get it too close there, so I think there would be the perfect spot for it, because it's out of the way, and I just think it would be better to have a little extra room here. Obviously with the meter on this side, the connections will have to be on this side. I can go up that much, and it might give me enough to put 2 here, I don't know, but probably all of the outputs will be on this side, and I just think that's going to be the best way to work that. And you know, another thing I just now thought of, if I put this, I don't know how well that would work, but yeah, like that. See, that still gives me plenty of room here. I've got, in fact, I think this is even better. I can go that far back, and you know, here's where it's going to actually sit, and you know, there's plenty of room in there now. I think that would even be better, because that gives me more room for my outputs here, because they're going to stick in a little bit on this side, and I think that would be better. So let's see what that looks like on this side. Yeah, that would be better. That gives me room here for the vent. It will, you know, do the cooling. Again, the back side will have air vents in it. And I see why I was doing that now. I don't really need to come out that far, but like that. So air vents will be here. And my idea for the cooling fan is here, putting it this way and maybe mounting it so it blows this way, and have the heatsink here next to the vent. And I think that would actually draw in air from this end to cool the transformer better. It would, you know, obviously there's vents here on this end, and there will be holes here. I think that would be a better situation to help keep this cool, but like I said, I don't think there's going to be a great amount of heat on that anyway. I think most of the heat will be concentrated on the heat sink, and like I say, with the fan blowing directly on it, cool air, drawing in cool air from the other end, even if it is slightly heated from the transformer, I think it will be fine. That's my thoughts on that. So again, I think it will work out. Let me see what the size of the circuit board will be. Sure. Let's see, I can go down this way just a little bit too. So that gives you, should give you plenty of room for that. Now the tricky part's going to be getting the heatsink in there with the circuit board in there like that. Let's go this way and see what we got. See, I can go down a little bit even with, well, it's going to be down that way. It's going to come close, but I think we can do it. If I have to shorten the board just a little bit, or make it a little bit narrower, whatever it takes, and I think I can do that. Again, I may not have to use a complete whole circuit board for it, I don't know. But that's where I want to put it. The heatsink does not have to be next to the circuit board. There could be wires running over to it. It doesn't have to be right there. It's better if it is, but you know, like I said, I'm just spitballing here and trying to figure out the best way to do this. So you know, that's the plan, and I think that will work out pretty good. So I think I'm going to try to get it down this way as far as I can, and give as much room as I can with the circuit board so I can mount it. Oops. Every time I touch that thing it moves. Of course, once I drill a hole. See, that's where it's going to come. It's a good bit of a space here. I think there's going to be plenty of room there. Again, I will make it as far as I can down that way, because that will give the meter more room too. So, alright, that's where I'm going to mount it. I just wanted to kind of do this, and I'm going to take it apart further, take the white plastics off of it with the upper bar here on each end, and keep all that together hopefully, and get this all apart, and then hopefully situate my, I'm going to mark it like it is where I want it at, and then I'll go ahead and do the final mark out of the lines and things like that once I get the white plastics off. I think that's the way to handle that. So, going to do that, and I'll bring you back and show you what I come up with. Alright, there you see the end results of our little drilling exercise. There's our hole. Fits nicely on there. Perhaps a little bit of space, but I wanted a little space because I want to be able to move this around a little bit if need be. So that's you can see there is the movement of that. It does move around a little bit, and it works rather well, I do believe. So next step in this process is to get the holes marked and then drilled, and that's going to take a little bit of doing. I'm not really sure exactly how I'm going to try to do this, but let me show the other side. So there's our, you know, basically what it looks like there. Again, that's all the way down that way, so, and I think that's where I want it at, so, or at least starting out there. If nothing else, I can take and round the holes out. I think I want it down this way as far as possible also, and I think that's what I'm going to try for. I think if I take these nuts and screws out, I can take a screw or something and get a scratch mark down there to where I'll know where to drill. And I'm going to probably do these one at a time to keep this thing where I want it. So that's what I'm going to do next. So let me do that and I'll come back. Alright, I'm back once more. I think this will be our last update until, well, for this video. I do have it back pieced together just to see if it's going to work. There is enough room in there to get everything in other words, this fits like it's supposed to. It's a little tighter than I wanted it. So what I think I'm going to do is try to move it actually this way, diagonal that way, and get it away from that edge just a little bit more. It's tight up against the back if you look at it on the plastic there, and I really didn't want it touching the plastic. So I'm gonna, like I said, move it that way towards the opposite corner, and hopefully that will prove just right for it. But there is enough room to get it in there, and again, this is touching a little, well, it's not quite touching. This way it's pretty good, but I think even a little bit more will help. I have to have room to get that screw in there as well. Obviously the plastic's going to have to go on first before I mount the transformer in there. So, anywho, that's that. Like I said, I'm happy with the way it's working out. Just a little tweaking. There's always a little tweaking involved, you know that. The wires, you can see, now it's down all the way, and I don't know that it's going to stay that way. I'm thinking, let me put these on the front. So I'm thinking seriously about raising it up a little bit. I've got quite a ways I can come up. Get a couple of spacers made, and there's plenty of bolt there. You can see that, so that it will come up, and that will also allow me to, because these are tapered a little bit towards the bottom, they go this way and that way, so that will allow me a little bit more leeway, and that's really what I want. So basically, what I'm going to do is drill holes just at a 45-degree angle from these, and then I'll do my back ones so that I don't have to cut 15 million different holes, and I can even slot them if I want to. It's not a problem. So that should work out perfectly, I think. I'm not sure how much of a to bring that up, but at least as it is right now, I don't know how well you can see it, but it's hanging down. Let me see if I can get you down there to look. You can see there, it hangs down pretty far. Here's your feet the way they are, and you can see they don't come to the bottom of that. So I like to have it will work with the feet that I have. Like I say, it can come up quite a bit. You can see the you know, if you push them down like that. And let me, where's my, so there you go. That's there, you can just see that maybe. But you can see this, it can, I've got my finger on there between it, so I can come up quite a bit and still have plenty of room. Those are not hard bent wires, and like I said, right now where the way they're at, they're just, I can push down on them, and that's hard bending them right there. But if I just relaxed bend like that, it works out better. Plus the wires are overlapping. I can move those around to where they're each on their own plane, as it were, like this, and that adds a little bit more to it. So like I said, there's plenty of room there, and like I say, I probably will use a spacer not quite that big, but close to it, I'm thinking. So we'll see what we can come up with. And I don't know exactly what kind of spacer I'm even going to use, but I'll come up with something, I'm sure. So, alright, like I said, this is going to be the last update. I'm going to go ahead and make a video out of this and show you what I'm doing on this Sunday. It is 1 something now in the afternoon. Let me check the time. 1:32. So I've been at this for a little while, but not a whole long time. But like I said, it's coming along nicely. I'm very pleased with how it's coming along, and everything has went very smoothly. The cutoff wheel did excellent on the bottom, and made that a little bit big, but again, like I said, I planned on making it a little bit big. The hole I drilled, or I cut, was 5.5 millimeters by 7 millimeters, so that gives me that little extra space that I wanted. And like I said, it won't show. I mean, you won't even see. And even if it does, that's another airflow place that can come in. It comes in around that. That's another good thing. So I know I'm trying to make excuses for cutting it too big, but you know, it works out better that way. So, all right, I keep talking and talking and talking. You guys have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see ya.